Hello and welcome back to the Lore Raider. Today I found a video even worse than Project Z's downplaying of Samus Aran that I covered in my Metroid Debunking the Myths episode, which I shall link down below. I found a video from a YouTuber named Midnight who is a Doom channel, and a year ago he covered Samus Aran vs Doomslayer. Within minutes I already found horrendous downplay all over his video, so I figured I would launch a defense for Samus. Before we begin, for the purposes of my response, I will give Midnight the benefit of the doubt, and assuming he's arguing in good faith for Doomslayer's feats, seeing as he's a Doom YouTuber channel, and theoretically he should be well versed in the scaling of the verse. So we mostly focused on the Samus part of his video, where my expertise lies.
Pull. According to the Metroid wiki, Samus has a gravitational pull of 865 Gs. That is stupid, which means that Samus will have a mass of 78 tons while on Samus. But the Metroid community thinks this is incorrect. Samus is very similar to Earth. In fact, its gravitational pull should be, in theory, of 1.34 Gs. So lowballing Samus still puts her at inhuman levels of strength, and highballing Samus makes her a literal godlike monster. But okay.
Hold it right there, buddy. I really hate this dumbass downplay trick. What has more weight, the in-universe canon, or a bunch of people online's headcanon? The in-universe canon, naturally. Doesn't matter if, by RL standards, Zebes doesn't have that gravity. Metroid is a fictional universe, and so if it states Zebes has 860 to 960 G gravity, then that is an ironclad fact. This is a weak counter, do not buy into it. If it has no backing in the source material, it is completely irrelevant to the argument.
Between 200 kilometers per hour all the way up to Mach 1, which is 1234 kilometers per hour. She can bring out Vorage from being completely submerged on lava. The calculations on Vorage state that he has around the same length and weight of a blue whale, which is on average 134 tons. And not even that, Samus was still able to swing Vorage like if it was nothing. But anyways, let's talk about her most impressive.
Okay, Downplay City. No, Samus is proven to be massively faster than light many times. I hashed this out in a recent video, again linked down below, but she scales to her own gunship speed, which can travel to other galaxies in the time span of a conversation, and she can actually keep pace with these gunships in the canon Samus and Joy manga. And Ridley also manages to outrace this ship between Metroid 2 and Super Metroid. As for why she appears so quote-unquote slow in the games, is because games filmed in television shows have to allow the viewer to see the action even when it would be faster than we can perceive. Take The Flash. We can see him fight in all his material, but in reality, he will be imperceptible because he's so fast. Same deal here. Secondly, I mean, sure, technically that feat with the lava whale is correct, but Samus' attack potency is far higher than this. For now, I will not respond and say this is merely a lifting strength feat, so let's hope that he doesn't try to use it as an attack potency feat later on.
Samus was struck down by the space pirates while on space. Her ship crashed on the surface while Samus didn't have the suit on. It may be pure luck, but Samus survived falling down from outer space without her suit on, and the impact her body made with the surface had this amount of energy. She was also able to defeat Dark Samus, which survived the explosion of a planet/dimension that had all that energy exploding directly on its body. And well, if Samus was able to beat Dark Samus, then that means that she can survive that as well.
You see the framing device? Quote, it isn't explained how she survived the crash. Yeah, buddy, it's called a durability feat. Ever heard of it? I've covered the same town-level durability feat before, and this is very consistent with Zero Mission Samus' scaling in general. Secondly, you just downplayed the Dark Aether tanking feat. Dark Aether wasn't just a planet, it was a separate dimension/universe. It would have been in order for Dark Aether to have been habitable. It needs a star at the very least to function, and the games only imply that Aether was the starting point of the rift, not that it was contained there, localized there. Not that Dark Aether was sitting in a lonely void by itself as you'd be implying here. Metroid has universe level feats outside of this, so it's actually far more consistent to be universe level than to just make so many logical hoops to assume that, okay, Dark Aether is a planet that doesn't need a sun, has no gravitational pull of its own, and is just sitting in a dark empty void by itself. It's just not how it works. So, let's move on.
Echoes, it is established that the light of Aether is a force that keeps planet Aether from falling apart. When the Leviathan hit the planet, the sum total of the light was split evenly between Aether and Dark Aether, and by the time Samus showed up in the planet, the ink had further weakened the light side by stealing 75% of its share. At the start of the game, a mere 12.5% of the total light of Aether remained in the light realm, yet light Aether still lived. In other words, even a little over 10% of the light is sufficient to keep the planet alive. By the end of the game, Samus had returned all of the stolen light back to light Aether, but the Emperor Ink still retained Dark Aether's original 50% share. Upon reaching the final temple, the Emperor Ink absorbs the light and empowers himself with it. Ultimately, Samus absolutely owns him. So, Samus was able to tank the attacks of someone who had 5 times the energy needed to sustain an entire dimension/planet.
So yes, further universe level proof. I admit I didn't even remember that Emperor Ing also scaled via that feat, so thanks, and I'll agree. It is very cool.
Cannon, Seeker missiles, etc. But we should only focus on the strongest ones, the Omega Cannon. An alembic superweapon that fires a slow-moving sphere of timed radioactive energy that can travel a great distance before it explodes. It is basically a mini-nuke. The Darkburst. The weapon uses a massive amount of dark energy to open a highly unstable dimensional rift, simultaneously causing massive amounts of damage to larger targets and engulfing smaller targets completely. When a target is nearby, the Darkburst rips apart its molecular structure and draws it into a dark dimension, pulling enemies into oblivion. The Sunburst, which is the other side of the coin. When the Sunburst is formed, it slowly travels toward its target and then detonates on contact with an enemy or surface. Any nearby enemies will be set alight if not hit directly, which will usually burn them to cinders after several seconds. I do not remember how much temperature you need to be able to completely cinder a body within seconds, but it's this amount of energy.
And her white hole creation feat? You know, the ability to one-shot the black holes Greed was going to use to literally destroy the entire universe? I'd like to think that even if it has limited application, it's still worth discussing her most notable feats in. I'd also like to mention that the screw attack, which is stated to be able to basically negate the durability of almost anything it hits, according to Samus herself. I'd like to also mention the Shine Spark, given that her speed will pulverize anything in her way, being billions to even highballing a quintillion times the speed of light, after all, as well as her planet-busting power bombs. But I digress. So now this is the part where he gets into his Doomslayer arguments, and I'll respond whenever I see an opportunity to do so. But I won't be showing everything either, because it is either backstory for the Doomslayer, or it is something I agree with and take no issue with.
Not only that, but also granted him immortality. No matter what happens, he will not die. He doesn't need to eat, sleep, drink water, or any type of nourishment, and besides that, he can draw strength from his fallen foes. For every demon he kills, he becomes stronger and stronger. After this, no demon came nowhere near the power of the Slayer, not even the mighty Titan, which was the mightiest demon to ever live in hell, came close to the power of the Slayer.
So I wanted to pause here to say 2 very important things. 1. Yes, the Doomslayer is immortal up to a point that his durability is outstripped, as he doesn't have any regen factor like Deadpool or Wolverine. Secondly, Samus can also absorb energy from her fallen foes, as confirmed in the original Metroid hymn book as shown on screen.
No doubt they are dead. The Doomslayer's max speed is of about 91 km per hour, and in order to overpower the Titan, which had this size, the Doomslayer needed to exert an attack potency between 37 and 65 kilotons of power. His punches or strength alone is several times greater than some atomic bombs.
Wanted to pause here, right before he reaches his conclusion. If you go by his logic, even using the low-balled Samus he provided, Samus would be able to speed blitz him, and he offered nothing to suggest Doomslayer has a planet-level attack potency or durability, which this low-ball Samus certainly does. A single planet-level power bomb should atomize him and kill him instantly.
What she lacks is an unrelenting will, as she has been shown to lose all fighting spirit or being deconcentrated by big impacts. She lacks battle experience and raw power, as most of her power comes from her suit and the upgrades she has. And there's where the Slayer compensates for. His arsenal might be incredibly weak against a nuke-type arsenal of Samus, but he has billions of years worth of experience.
Okay, let's count the number of times Samus has lost her cool and the number of times she hasn't. She lost it twice in Other M, once when encountering Clone Ridley and again when Adam Malkovich betrayed her and shot her in the back. She also lost it when an explosion sent her flying on the frigate Orpheum. Let's count the number of times she hasn't. Let's see. All of Zero Mission, all of Metroid Prime Hunters, all of Prime 2 Echoes, all of Prime 3 Corruption, all of Metroid 2, all of Seppu Metroid, all of Samus Joy the Manga, and all of Metroid Fusion. So it's a massive stretch to say that Samus would lose her cool. Secondly, her will is no issue. She exterminated entire races without batting an eye. She got her ass kicked by Ridley, and without aid or backup, immediately took the fight to the pirates on Zebes in Super Metroid. She allowed herself to be an enemy of the Federation because she saw the true threat of the X-Parasite when no one else would. She stood firm when passing the Ruin test in Zero Mission, completing her mission knowing her home was going to be destroyed in an explosion. Need I go on? Her will isn't an issue. It was her PTSD when encountering Ridley that mostly messed her up. It was her betrayal at Adam Malkovich, her supposed father figure, betraying her that messed her up. And it was an outlier that a random explosion on frigate Orpheum messed her up. That's more like a plot-induced stupidity thing. I mean, it exists, I'll give you that. But still, one thing, and the other two things that won't ever even come up in this fight? Come on, it's a joke. And lastly, she lacks battle experience and raw power? Never minding that Samus is actually a universe buster at max level, never minding that she can tank her own power bombs, and fought the equally universe level Dark Samus and SCX who scaled to her, you want to talk about battle experience? I can see Doomslayer is older and has done his thing for longer, sure. But Samus served in the Galactic Police before she was even 18, joined the military under Adam Malkovich. She left on pursuit bounty hunting, quickly rising through the ranks of the profession before cementing her place in Zero Mission. She'd go on to save Talon 4 from the Phazon threat, defeat the species-exterminating Gorilla, save the Luminoth from the Ing Horde and battle Dark Samus, and end the Phazon crisis for good. She cleared out and reformed planet Zebes single-handedly, killing the 4 pirate commanders and killing Mother Brain. She saved the entire universe from the threat of the Green Corps and the Dominion, obtaining the power to summon a white hole, return peace to space. And she stopped the X-Parasite despite constant interference from the Federation, defeating her doppelganger despite having a lower durability than her. Doomslayer is an expert at killing demons, yes, but that's the only thing he's good at. Samus has ran the gauntlet and came out as one of the game's most seasoned characters ever. Case closed.
He has an unyielding and unrelenting will, he has never been corrupted by hell, and will never be, and he has the raw power and durability to destroy Samus if she loses focus.
And she has the ability to instantly one-shot him before that even happens with the good old Ice Beam and Super Missile combo. Did I mention that the Ice Beam can freeze the surface of a star?
So the way I'm going to do this is like this. No suit Doomslayer versus no suit Samus, Slayer wins.
I'd call it a draw. Even Zero Suit Samus is massively hypersonic when scaled to the Federation Marines and general fodder in her universe. Fodder in the Prime games, for example, can react to her light beam, which is light speed, obviously. She can't kill Slayer, and Slayer can't even touch her, so it's a draw.
No suit Slayer versus basic power suit Samus?
Nope. Even if you meant a nebulous early game Samus, then Ice Beam and missiles end him. And power bombs also end him. Spider Magnet and Spider Ball allowed her to stay out of his grabbing range, and she still retains the speed advantage. If you mean like only her power suit and like the charge beam, again she outspeeds him, but can't kill him, but he can't actually hit her because he's so much slower, so again, another draw.
No suit Slayer versus Samus with all of her upgrades, Samus might win. And I say might because maybe she wouldn't be able to kill the Slayer, but she might be able to bind him in a place with the Ice Beam, or probably kill him with Darkburst.
Okay, let's talk about immortality quickly. There are many types. There's immortality with regeneration, like Boo or Deadpool. There's reliant immortality, like Voldemort or Orochimaru from Naruto. But Doomslayer has your basic cookie-cutter immortality, like vampires, for example, just basic undying from old age. He has 0 regen feats that can bring him back from being blown to pieces, and full power suit Samus with all her equipment bleed bits him and one-shots him. Shiny Sparking Screw Attack negate durability to some extent when get hit by it. Ice Beam freezes, Power Bombs atomize. He can't even scratch her universe level armor. He's done.
And finally, Predator Suit Slayer versus Power Suit Samus with her upgrades. I'll say that this is a draw. It's just that each other compensates with what each other lacks. The Slayer lacks the overpowered weaponry and speed, but compensates with his raw power and tanky build. Samus lacks the raw power and durability, but compensates with her speed, reactions, and overpowered arsenal. And I am not saying that they are weak on those areas. They are extremely powerful, but the other one is better on those notes. But yes, I'll say that who wins in the battle depends on the—
Buddy, your only feat for Slayer is that he beat like an atomic bomb level demon. That is literally it. How is that even remotely comparable? Also, power scaling 101, even if you think the two are physically comparable, which they're not, the faster opponent tends to win via speed blitz if applicable. Samus, even with her Zero Suit, outspeeds the Slayer, let alone with it. Either you should have brought up some Planet Buster feats with Slayer, emphasized maybe he has some speed things he doesn't know, maybe even some regen stuff I don't know about from Samus' superior arsenal, but as it stands, she's going to one-shot him, and you put nothing on the table. I mean, I don't know how you went from, in your own video, admitting that, she's a Planet Buster at the very least, and then saying that Doomslayer, who's like atomic bomb level, with like his demon slaying feat, is remotely even close to her level. I don't know if you know this, but atomic bombs are not planetary. I'm just saying. And so that concludes my response to Midnight in his Doomslayer vs. Samus Aran video. I think that was a pretty easy debunk. Now, was it worse than Project Z's? Well, no. I actually think Midnight was trying to argue from a good place. I think he was trying to make good faith arguments. I've seen these common arguments all the time. I don't think he was trying to lowball Samus intentionally. I think he was trying to highball Doomslayer with that whole he's comparable thing, but I think he was trying to make good faith arguments for the most part. Project Z, on the other hand, I feel like he was intentionally lowballing Samus, so I'm going to give Midnight a pass. I mean, his expertise is on Doom, not Metroid, so I can't hold him to it. But I hope you guys enjoyed that video. I hope you learned something, and I hope you send nothing but love for Midnight and such. So, thank you. I had fun making this video, and I'm sorry for the late delay of this video. Getting back to college and all that stuff. So, without further ado, I'm gonna head off. So, be safe, be wise.